Great. Next, I want to cover setting a working directory. So a working directory is essentially the file folder in which your script will either be housed or where you'll pull information from. So just think of it, it's kind of like when you have files or folders on your desktop or your computer, or however you manage your file system. Setting your working directory will tell R to go into this folder and go into this file. And so essentially it gives the location of where your files are saved to R, like it's the file path if any of you work with file paths. Great. So the first step for anything done in R is to set your working directory. If you don't set your working directory, R won't know where you are pulling or trying to pull information from. So you need to tell R where to pull your files from by setting your working directory. So it's the first thing you need to do always when working with R. So the line of code below shows the default location of where R is currently operating off of. So for me, if you run this get wd open parenthesis, close parenthesis, you can see my console output. Currently, my file path is set, or R is linked to this folder that's in my Dropbox folder and in this folder called R microcred. If this is not the location you want to work off of, you can change your working directory by running this line of code below, set wd, but you would just have to replace this line path. And this is the line path right now. You can also manually set your working directory by going back to the RStudio File tabs, click on Session, click on Set Working Directory, and then you can choose a directory. And you can choose whichever folder you need to pull from. So right now, mine is microcredential up here. You can always change where you want it. And then let's say you want it in here, this folder, we'll say open, okay. And then it will set your working directory and provide the new file path. And so you can also set your working directory that way. Okay, another option instead of setting your working directory or telling R where you want to pull files from, there are two ways to do this. One is to set your working directory, which we just went over. You can check your working directory and then you can set your working directory. Another option for telling R where you want to pull your files from and information from is to set up an R project. And setting up an R project is basically a folder where all of your files for a specific data analysis project will be housed. So housed and stored, and then R will recognize all of the files within that R project folder that they all belong together. So you won't have to set your working directory. Right. So using R projects can be advantageous since R recognizes the location of all the files stored within an R project. You can create a R project. Let's say let's close this for example. So let's say you just opened R. This is what R looks like when you open it. You're going to go to File, instead of New File, where you can create a new R script. Let's close that. You can come up here, File, New Project, and then it's gonna load a new project, taking a little bit of time. Great. And then you're gonna start a new directory, a new project. What are you gonna call your project folder? So let's call it project tutorial. And then you get to choose where you want to save that. So click browse. Let's say I just want it to be saved on my desktop or wherever you like to keep your files. Click open, and then you're going to create project, and it's going to say switching project to the location, the new project location. It's going to take a little bit to load. Great. For my okay, great. And so now we're working off this .r project file or folder. It's really a file. So let's say you add a new file in here. Let's say it's a script. And then we're going to say this is a tester script. And then you want to do 25 plus 82, 107, great. And then you're gonna, whenever you're done with the script that you're using or the file within this project, you're gonna say save, and then it's gonna automatically save it into this folder, the project tutorial folder, which also has that .r project. And this .r project tells R that everything within this main folder goes together. Say tester script, right? You're going to save it, and then let's close the project. That's going to close, and then it's going to show R without anything in it, kind of like if you were to open up R for the first time. This is what it would look like. There's no script, there's nothing in the environment, and there's nothing in this third pane. We don't have anything loaded in it. So if you wanted to open back up that project file, you would go to File, and then you can say Open Project or Recent Projects. And so Recent Project, we have that project tutorial that we just created. We're going to open it up. It's going to take a little bit of time to load. Great, and then it's going to automatically open the last file that we had open, this .r file. And I can run this again, and it works perfect. So I don't, if you use a .r project and store all your files for a certain project within this .r project folder or file, R is going to know that everything within that .r project is linked together, so you don't need to set your working directory. For this course, we are using a .project file folder, just so everything is kept together nice and orderly, and you don't have to set your working directory every single time you open a script or want to create a script. So that covers it for this video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.